Hi everyone, and welcome to another edition of Volcano Bay Construction Update. My name is Jim from WildGravityTravels.com, and we are starting off here at the Cabana Bay Hotel as always, or almost always. Now, taking a look at the main overview of the park, we can really see some developments coming in. This is expected now to be a tapu-tapu location where you will actually get your reserve your rides as you want to take the ride. We showed some details on that last week in our post, but as we can see, a lot more trees coming into place. Even close up, we're now seeing more trees being planted here closer to Cabana Bay. Most likely going to be a tree line here for the Polynesian, we'll call it, themed type park. Taking a look at that kids play area we saw last week. A few more developments to it, but not much else notable. And then there, just next to it, this cave as we zoom in. This will be the tunnelway for the lazy river. Have stalactites and stalagmites forming just inside of there. Just next to that cave, or tunnelway, if you will, system, we're seeing an opening in the rockwork that we've seen in the building for the volcano for a while now, but we're actually seeing that get some rockwork as well right here. We'll have to keep an eye on what exactly that turns into. It looks to be near a pool, near that splashdown pool right here, or some type of pool entry area. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. A little further over, we see the development of some handrails going out to that kind of floating island. We should get a closer look at that here in just a moment from another window, but this is a good look at that from here. Now, taking a look at the volcano overall, which we'll see several times here as always. We're seeing the scaffolding come down. We're actually seeing moss details. We'll get a better look at that. The sun's just not at a good angle for this video right now, for this angle of the video, but we can actually get a better perspective into the capsule launch area inside the volcano. So as we pull back out, again, we see all that scaffolding still there, hanging in there. Over at the other slide, or the Krakatoa Aqua Coaster, we're actually seeing some of the roof work getting done, not all of it quite yet, and then just that kids area in the foreground there of that shot. So as we continue to explore Volcano Bay in this update, we'll keep an eye on several of those factors as we get different angles. One of the most interesting things, again, from this angle was the tapu-tapu. Almost actually even looks like railings coming into form inside of that building there. Taking a look at the entrance area now for Volcano Bay, we're seeing lots more trees coming in as we showed you last week. A little more finalization, even seen a wall come up on this side of the main entry building here. Also, we see over on this side a new structure has actually come into place. This could be like a bus entry structure. It looks kind of like a half circle type of tunnelway. Not really sure what this will end up being for. It could be for the shuttling, could be for something else. We'll just have to wait and see what that is for. But we're also seeing the finalization again on the building roof here for this building, as well as the entry plaza area, just seeing a lot more shrubs and trees, foliage coming into play all around here. Still no sign of a vinyl top yet for that main building we've been showing you, but the frame has been going up rapidly, and we're still seeing workers here today. So we'll have to wait and see if we get a vinyl in the next week or so. Taking another look at the entrance area now, we actually see that structure we were just showing you from the other window a little closer up here. Still really not quite sure what it's for. It could be any type of structure, but here we see an update to that rockwork that we were seeing last week, most likely going right here, but not quite fully installed, so we'll have to wait and see about that. Taking a look at the other angle from this end window here, we can actually see a piece has gone up on this restaurant or entry area building, as well as a piece of rockwork still being underway, in progress there next to the pathway. Just beyond that, we see this pathway we've been telling you about, kind of elevated there next to the volcano. It's actually gained a pole, and as we talked about a moment ago, some railing there. So that's kind of exciting to see that. A little shaky as we pull out, sorry about that. As we look off in the distance though, we can see some more development on those buildings, even that temple, or almost like a street style building on the side of the volcano. Not really quite sure what this is going to be all about yet, but we'll see as time moves on. Now down here just beneath us, behind that building where we showed you that new piece in place, we actually see another angled piece right here. This could be for that restaurant or even possibly more development for the entrance nearby as well. So we'll have to wait and see what becomes of that. Additionally here, this is actually kind of like the base of the wave pool where they've been staging a lot of pieces. We can still see a lot of rock work, frames and shell pieces, if you will, all across here. And then we see a couple workers actually. Looks like they've kind of made a sort of makeshift break area right there to get out of the summer heat, be in the shade for a bit. So this will conclude this angle here. Just a lot of little details, little things going on as we take a look around Volcano Bay. Next up will be from the other building, taking a look at the opposite direction. So we may get to see some of this again, as well as some other details. Getting a start from the other building now, we can actually see this is that framework we were actually just showing you from the other building, from the first building that we were in. So we can see that. Also, we've been watching this rock work a little bit, well, a lot actually, here near the entrance. It looks like all the scaffolding's gone from it, and it is finally completed. Here we see that frame that I was talking about just a moment ago from our first building as well. Kind of backstage right now, might be going into place somewhere on that restaurant or amenity building here towards the front of the park. Off in the distance we see the cabanas are getting more and more complete, also with more trees again, just more foliage being added all around the park as they seem to be in that phase. Here on the end we see two cabanas that are not complete at all. In the foreground of our area here, or from our shot here, we can just see a lot of tree work, and then as we look down the side of the building and zoom in here, again, just getting another shot of that platform. We won't be able to see this from Turkey Lake, so this is something I really want to show off here. As well as the slide complex here off in the distance. We can actually see some of those slides have been uncovered right there at the base where the tubes or the riders would come out, depending on if it's a body slide or not. We believe these to be a body slide, but we're not quite sure on that one yet either. A lot of unknown details, obviously, as a park is being under construction, or a water park is being under construction. So lots of stuff still to see happen, but definitely a lot more development this week, even than our last week's update. So we'll be watching this a lot to see as the park comes together for May 25th. We're gonna head on down and get some more angles, obviously check out Hanu next and Aiko Moana, so that will be where we pick up. As we start to conclude our look here from Cabana Bay, we'll have a lot more to see. One of the main things we're seeing new to us is the lazy river is now half full of water here and has actually water flowing gently through it. You can see that from both angles. As I move up here, you can get a little better look at the water splashing around right there where the pumps are. Again, only half full at the moment. Just to the left of that, we actually see some water slide pieces. These are most likely for the kids' splash play area, which will feature some smaller water slides. But it's kind of fun to see more water slide pieces not yet installed. Most people think that all the pieces are in for water slides, but not quite yet with that kids' play area coming into form. As we take a final look again, that's the lazy river there, but we also see the bridge over the lazy river. That's going to Hanu and Aiko Moana. Again, with Hanu, we're seeing more water flow and more tubes staged at the top right here. So next up, we're going to head over to Turkey Lake and see if we can find any action there. Starting off our view of Volcano Bay from Turkey Lake Road. Here we're taking a look at Puhi and Meku. The yellow slide on the left, Meku is the saucer slide, and Puhi again is the funnel slide there on the right, the green one. We've seen an interesting purple tower the past few weeks. Many have been asking actually what it's for. Right now, the only conceivable thing I can think of is it's some sort of elevator type system. Now, not for the tubes. So our only other conclusion here could be ADA, i.e. wheelchairs and accessibility. Something quite interesting that we don't see in a lot of water parks, but this could be for an elevator platform that would take you from the ground level up to the slide. These are two larger mat type slides where the tube doesn't exactly sink when it gets to the bottom, so definitely a possibility. Not really sure what that tower's for. If we find out more, we'll definitely be bringing it to you. As we pull out and pan over to Krakatoa Mountain, which we haven't talked a whole lot about other than the scaffolding earlier, Here we see some steps on the outside. Another question several people have been asking is if those steps are actually here to stay. And as far as we know, they are. We're just waiting for the rooftop coverings. Just under that, we see Punga Racers. They're a set of twisty slides, but again, they are like going to have the mantis-shaped mats. We detailed all of the slide names and their actual translations in our last week's post, so be sure to check that out. It was a great long post, lots of little details we took a look at. But again, that's Punga Racers. Those are the twisty, darker colored slides we see here from Turkey. Take another look at Krakatoa Mountain. So this is just zooming past that tree. Here we can see the openness and the of the capsule slides, Koakiri, Body Plunge, and Kala and Ta Nui serpentine slides, which are possibly in here. We're not sure if the Body Plunge is actually the collective name for all 3 capsule slides, and the other 2 slides are those ones we're seeing on the other side of the volcano. One more detail I'm going to point out about Krakatoa right here is we've actually been seeing some more detail work going on, and on this side we sort of see some moss. If you look really closely just past the scaffolding there, we actually see some moss coming into form, or like painted on green moss-like texture. So lots of really exciting announcements, or not announcements, but details showing up here on Krakatoa Mountain. I do apologize for the shaky video at times. I know some of you said last week's video was really shaky. I do my best to hold the camera still, and we'll be getting some better equipment very soon for our videos. Our next angle of Krakatoa Mountain and other details from Turkey Lake Road of Volcano Bay is actually showing us again some more of that green detail there on the side. But as we pull out, we notice some different colors coming into form right here on the side of the mountain. That's a lighter brown that we haven't quite seen yet. Not sure if that's spreading or if we're actually still painting there, adding more details. And then down below here, we're actually seeing some of that orange detail for Runamukka Reef. And that is the kids play zone. I don't think I mentioned the name of it earlier, the Runamukka Reef. Well, we might get a little better look at that here in just a second. Another thing we've been showing you is kind of this temple, temple type theming here on the side of Krakatoa Mountain, and then just above that is the Krakatoa Aqua Coaster turn going in and out of the mountain itself. Concluding our look at Volcano Bay for this week, I wanted to give you another look at that different color of brown there at the top of the mountain. We're not sure if they're actually adding more to it or if it's being painted or whatnot. So we'll keep an eye on that for you, update you next week. Of course, as always, stay tuned to WildGravityTravels.com for that. One final look at Volcano Bay. We're going to zoom in here, and we've actually just noticed a slide piece or tunnel piece on Runamukka Reef has been installed already. We showed you those pieces there from Cabana Bay, and now we're seeing more here. So lots of exciting stuff as we pull out, take a final look here at Volcano Bay. Once again, my name is Jim from WildGravityTravels.com. You can check out all of our updates at WildGravityTravels.com/tag/Volcano Bay. And also follow us along on our social accounts, as we often tweet and post to Facebook updates before they get published here in this video. Not all of our updates, of course. Also, be sure to check out the post. It'll have some more detailed pictures, and if you want still shots of anything we've been showing you today, they will be available there. So once again, my name's Jim, and thanks for joining me. We will see you at the park, and we will see you on social media.